Alrighty, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the channel for another market update. Hope everybody's having a lovely day. And with that being said, let's get into the TA. All right, so the first thing I want to point out is that we have peeped our head over here on SPY over this resistance level over here, which does open up the door to 456.07. We are going to make this update pretty quick here because not much has changed on the charts. And we do have the major catalyst tomorrow after hours. And then on Wednesday, we have FOMC. So I don't expect much movement up until FOMC or unless we get an earnings gap up or gap down. So we will keep this one short. But pretty much what I am watching here on the smaller time frames is you maintain this level 454.77 and you open up that door to 456.07 and back up to test the highs. You could throw a little zone on there, a little something like that. And then over here on QQQ, what I want to point out is if you get over here on 378.37, that opens up the door to 379.93. Above there, you can start running back up to the highs. Now, do I think that is going to be the case before we come down here and test the breakout level of 373? No, I do not. You have came too far. Maybe it was too quick, like we were pointing out, but you have came too far to turn back now without tapping this 373 breakout level over here, and then possibly the gap down here at 368.63. Now I will bring us back to the weekly time frame. We did close out with the bearish shooting star candlestick off of increasing volume over there to validate the candlestick, and then you come over here to Apple and you had the same thing except in the form of a doji, all right, or not a doji, a gravestone doji. So technically a doji. But yeah, again, you had a bearish reversal candlestick with increasing volume to validate that. You also did have a bearish divergence over here on the weekly RSI. Now, I do want to point out the last time you had a formation like this was all the way up here. And guess what? Then you had a rather large sell-off. And, you know, what are the conditions that we shared? Well, you got the bearish candlestick. You did not have I mean, technically, we can count this as this candlestick over here. All right, so I guess this was the big reversal candlestick. You did have increasing volume there. But what else did we add? We had a bearish divergence over here on the RSI right here as well. From there to there, we have that going on right here. I would not be surprised to see a rather nice, like, you know, a decent sized pullback here. I'm not saying you do have to pull back all the way down here, but I would very much so not be surprised to see a decent sized pullback. You come down to the lower time frames over here on Apple, and what you are watching for, obviously, I have this drawn, all right? So this was a potential scenario that I was watching for this week. Doesn't look like we're starting out the week like that. We actually did have a gap up. So we could end up start pushing back up here. Do I think you're going to come back up here and push up to 198? No, I don't think so. And again, we do have FOMC on Wednesday. So if we rally on into this catalyst, then I do have to assume it's probably not going to be mega bullish. It's, you know, it's probably going to either... Yeah, it's probably going to be a reversal catalyst. So if we fall into that catalyst, then we probably do end up rallying out of that. But I mean, with the weekly candlestick formation over here on QQQ, and then we had that on Apple, like I just pointed out, I just cannot. I mean, I guess, like, listen, we will just follow the charts, but I mean, as of right now, I can't imagine this not leading to some form of pullback here. We had a bearish Harami candlestick formation over here on the weekly time. That led to a decent-sized pullback, all right? Is this one not going to lead to a decent-sized pullback? I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see. But like, also, you have the last one over here, the last, like, you know, very comparable to that candlestick right there. You have right here, and that, you know, I will say that was during, you know, peak bear market over there. That was when you had your August bear market rally, and then you ended up doing that, and that was when we had the whole inflation problem. Now, guys, we don't have that inflation problem. So I'm not saying you're going to get a massive pullback, but I still do think it's likely that, you know, these catalysts this week do give us some sort of pullback. Now, what I will point out is QQQ does have earnings. There we go on my drawings. QQQ does have earnings on Tuesday after hours along with Microsoft, and then Meta has it on Wednesday after hours. So, hey, all right, if you do see this thing somehow get all the way down here to 117 to 118 right here at support, then I do have to assume, yeah, we're probably going to have a sick, nasty gap up on earnings. But as of right now, guys, you came back, you back tested this falling wedge, and now it does look like you're getting some sort of upside reaction here that's stalling out right here at resistance, which makes sense. You have a doji, which also makes sense. You have this low volume, which again also makes sense. We are right before earnings. People don't want to be doing too much, but I did see Google calls hitting the tape, a rather large amount of big buy orders for Google calls. So somebody wants calls ahead of earnings. So I just want to put that one out there, right? Aside from that, guys, I think that's pretty much it. I want to point out IWM has been pretty stagnant today. All right. You would expect like, oh, okay, maybe IWM's not going to do too bad because, you know, it's tech earnings this week. So that's going to be the uncertain one. No, IWM has had the least movement out of SPY and QQQ today. So, I mean, I guess QQ also didn't have much movement today, which, again, this makes sense ahead of big tech earnings. And then we do have the FOMC on Wednesday. So I really don't expect too much to be going down here. That is like ultimately what I want to get out in this short 6-minute video here is I am not expecting too much. Now, I will put something on your table here, all right, on your radar, which is we do have Meta coming back to backtest where it broke out from. So it's you got a support play going on here / a break and retest play going on here. You come over to the hourly time frame. What do you got? Yeah, this bullish divergence going out on right here on the hourly time frame right as you came into that support. So so far you did get a bounce off there. I would not be surprised to see a bigger bounce come out of there. Now it's, you know, it's important to note that Meta premiums are extremely expensive. So if you're not a big boy, then, you know, best to leave it alone and you could just watch and see how things play out. There you go. All right, guys. So with that being said, I will catch y'all in the next one. Everyone have a lovely rest of your day. Check out the links below and peace.